Howdy, boys and girls. Today I'm going to be talking about unit conversions. This is another way that we can use proportions to help us solve for problems. So a unit conversion is a conversion between different units of measure for the same quantity. So we're talking about the same number, we're just going to write it in a different way. So some examples of that are things like miles to feet. So it's the same amount of distance, but I'm changing it from how many miles it is to how many feet. Gallons to cups, so you have the same amount, I'm just changing the way I write it. Weeks to years. Make sure you write down the definition as well as the examples. Pause if you need to, and then we can go on to some examples of this. Okay, before we move on to an example, I do want to say that your star chart does have unit measures, so your star chart should be in the front of your I and B. I have an example of ours. This one is over the area, which we will get to at some point, but not right now. And the next page is a whole bunch of conversions. So it tells you how many yards are in a mile, feet in a yard. It talks to you about volume, so how many gallons in quarts, and how many tons in pounds, pounds in ounces. This is very useful. You should have this. And if you don't, you need to find a way to get one for yourself. It should be in your INB, and if you have lost it, the internet has a wonderful resource. Just Google it and print it out for yourself. Okay, with that in mind, let's look at our first example. So it says, how many weeks are in 49 days? I have 49 days, and I'm trying to figure out how many weeks that is. So the way that we do that is we write a ratio of our known conversion. So I'm converting days and weeks, and then follow it through with your proportion. So my days to weeks, I know that there's 7 days in 1 week. So that's my known conversion amount. 7 days in 1 week. I'm getting to 49 days. Notice that my days stays with my days. The top numbers are days, my bottom numbers are weeks. So I'm saying, how do I get from 7 to 49? 7 times 7 equals 49. So 1 times 7 would be 7, and that's 7 weeks. So I use that relationship to help me. And my answer, it says how many weeks? It would be 7 weeks. Okay, so next one. I have 6 pints of milk. How many quarts is that? And how many gallons? So I have pints that I need to change into quarts. Now, here's the thing. We might not remember how many quarts are in pints. Again, go back to our reference chart. 1 quart is 2 pints. That is my known amount. I know 1 quart is 2 pints. So pints to quarts, 2 pints, 1 quart. And I have 6 pints, so my 6 stays up at the top because it's with pints. When I need to find my ratio, my relationship, I can say 2 times what equals 6? 2 times 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. And I see that's 3 quarts. I need to find how many gallons this is as well. So it doesn't tell me pints to gallons, but it does tell me quarts to gallons, and I just figured out how many quarts we have. We have 3 quarts. So I'm going to use the conversion of quarts to gallons to help me with this. And again, my known ratio is that I have 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. So 4 quarts is 1 gallon. I now have 3 quarts, so I now have 3 quarts that I'm starting with. I'm trying to figure out how many gallons that is. When I do my relationship, I can't multiply or divide 4 by anything to get to 3. So this is where I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So 1 times 3 is 3, and then divided by 4. 3 divided by 4. So that's top in, bottom out. 3 and 4. I'm going to add my decimal point in 0. If we don't know what 3/4 is, we can solve this out. 4 times 7 is 28. I have 2 over here. I'm going to add a 0, bring it down. and I have 20. 4 times what gets me to 20? 4 times 5. So I have 0.75 gallons. So I have 3 quarts and 0.75 or 75 hundredths of a gallon. 6 pints is also 3 quarts, is also 0.75 gallons. Okay, we are going to do one more example. I'm going to flip this over onto the back side. A string is 6 meters long. How many centimeters long is it? So now we are converting in our metric system. 6 meters to centimeters. I know my known unit is meters to centimeters. I know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. And I'm going to get to 6 meters. So how do I get from 1 to 6? I multiply times 6. So I multiply 100 times 6. That's 600. So 6 meters is also 600 centimeters. All right. Up at the top, let's write our whisk. Let's write our check for understanding. And I'm going to just give you 2 examples. I want 24 inches is how many yards? And then 2, I would like 6 kilometers is how many centimeters? Okay, so we're changing our inches to yards and our kilometers to centimeters. We're just converting our units. So it's the same measurement. We are just actually writing it as a different form. I hope I have these answered and we can come back and talk about these. Thank you.